My husband of 12 years slapped me. Do you think my marriage will survive? Hi, guys. Welcome to Conversations with Jamie. Guys, please comment below as you have this discussion. Give me your thoughts on this domestic violence. What would you do if your husband, after 12 years of marriage, after 5 years of marriage, just slapped you one day after an argument? This is not something that has happened before. You've lived together all those years, but suddenly one day after an argument, heated argument, he slaps you across the face. So this is a story of a lady who one day, one evening, after a heated argument, the husband slaps her. So it was, like I think during Christmas time, husband is out for company party, and she decided to stay at home because, well, in her company she didn't know most of the people because she was a new employee. So she decided, I'll stay home, take care of the kids, and wait for my husband in the evening. So she spent the day with her two small kids. She cleans, she's tired by the end of the day, and her husband just comes home at the time the baby wants to go to sleep. So they normally did this, he could put her to bed, she could put her to bed. So it was, something they used to do together. So on this particular day, he tells her, okay, get the baby ready. Okay, I'll take her to bed. And that's what she does. She puts the baby, dresses up the kid, and, the dad goes to take the child to bed. Immediately after around 20 minutes, he comes out and he says, oh, the baby doesn't want to sleep with me, doesn't want to sleep. She says she wants to sleep with you. And then the wife is like, she says she was so tired. She told her husband, tell the baby I'm tired. I need a break. So she took the keys. She just wanted to step out for a while, go for a walk. It's evening. She's feeling so tired and so exhausted. She just needed a break. And, when she told her husband that, the husband, he got rude, and, he had this attitude, and he told her, you know what, you're not a good mother. And so because of that, an argument started. And a few minutes later, the baby walks out of the bedroom, comes to where the parents are. The dad picks up the child, and in the process of it all, he pushes the wife, and then the wife pushes him back. And in that whole process, he slaps her, and all this time he's holding the child. And she runs downstairs, he's chasing her while still carrying the baby. And she calls 911, and she she's trying to get away from him, and she closes the door. And then she says, a few minutes later, he walked out of the door and he left. So she's been wondering if her marriage is going to survive, because there's so many nights, her husband has come and the kids want to go to bed, and that's the time he takes off. He's like, I'm going for a walk. He takes the keys and leaves because he doesn't want to put the kids to bed. The violence has never happened before, but now that first slap, and then her discovering a week later that she's pregnant, scares her, because she's like, I'm about to have another child. He has slapped me because of a small argument about putting the child to sleep. So guys, what are your thoughts? Do you think her marriage is going to survive? Do you think this is a sign that, I'm going to be slapping you now? Because sometimes people say if he slaps you once, he's going to slap you again. So some of the people are arguing like, he's not a good father. She says he's a good father, he provides, everything is good, except for this one night that things get out of hand, and she gets slapped. And she says she was very shocked, because that is something that has never happened, them pushing each other back and forth and then a slap. It's not anything that has ever happened in her marriage. And then some people say, you cannot start slapping your wife or even your husband in front of your children, because they are going to grow with traumas, issues that are going to affect them when they grow up and stuff like that. If you have to, domestic violence is not something, it should not happen to any woman or to any man. You sit down and speak things out, or if it gets heated, just walk out and leave and then come back when things are easier or when you can speak about it. So her worry is her fearing that this is the beginning of him starting to slap her, and then now with a new child coming, and the other two, she works, he works, by the end of the day both of them are tired, so they need to help each other in the house. What are your thoughts, guys? I mean, do you advocate? I mean, I know most people, actually almost 99% of people don't advocate for domestic violence. And if you have gone through something similar, you staying or living with somebody who, after an argument, they feel the best way to punish you is slap you. The best way to shut you down is slap you, or put you down. What do you feel about all those things? Like, how do they make you feel? And if you have children, and I have a child myself, and I wouldn't want anything like that happening in the presence of my child, or not even in the presence of her. I would not love it if I had somebody who thinks that they can slap me or they can shut me down by slapping me. I wouldn't, and I don't advocate for that. Recently, we've seen all the cases that are happening. Every now and then you see a woman has been killed. And if you look at these things, most of the time these women have been experiencing domestic violence. They have been living with it, and then it gets to a point, it escalates, and somebody kills you, somebody breaks your leg, somebody breaks your hand, you have bruises on your face, then you have to put makeup to cover those bruises when you go to work, and then you have to act like you're happy, and you're not happy at all. And even going home in the evening, you're scared to go home in the evening because you don't know what to expect. So what are your thoughts? Do you think a marriage can survive or recover from domestic violence? If you were in her shoes, do you think your marriage would recover? Do you think you can work through it? Do you think you can talk to a therapist and sort and have things fixed up? Because she was saying she went to see a therapist, and therapist advice was most likely he's going to do it again. So she's asking, her question is, will my marriage survive? Do you think it's time to leave? And then the conflict of, he's a good father, and people arguing he's not a good father because first off, he every time he comes home and the kids are about to go to sleep, he leaves, he goes for a walk, right? And then he decided to slap you or chase you around the house while still carrying a small child. So the child can see all these things, the child will remember all these things. What are your thoughts about all these, guys? And guys, people, let's protect each other. This whole thing of domestic violence, it's not worth it. You can lose your life, you can go to prison for it. So guys, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.